Okay, so this is the Galaxy S24 FE. It doesn't look that different from the S23 FE, but it is quite a bit different in key areas. So back in the days, Samsung used to call them Fan Edition, and they used to be a watered-down variant of the flagships. But nowadays, they are kind of a replacement of the A7X lineup. And this time, it might just change. Like in this photo, you can see it still has a similar design of the S24. Very much similar, the flat sides, flat front and the back, beautiful green color, and the same triple camera housing. Now, this camera housing thing is very much similar to any Samsung phones nowadays, but it does have 3 good cameras, and they are tried and tested ones. There is a Samsung's ISOCELL GN3 camera, which is a 50 megapixel camera from S23 FE, and you will find it in many flagships from Samsung. There is a 12 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera and an 8 megapixel 3x telephoto zoom camera. It's still not upgraded to much higher megapixels either. So it still has a good camera setup, but it's just so similar to the S23 FE. And also, it shows in the Geekbench that it will have a 12GB of RAM variant. So from the benchmarks, we can see this Cortex X4 core running at 3.1 GHz instead of 3.2 GHz, the normal one. The 2 Cortex A720 cores are running at 2.9 GHz, and then there are the 3 Cortex A720 cores running at 2.6 GHz. And the efficiency cores, the Cortex A520 cores are running, 4 of them are running at 2 GHz. So this is the Exynos 2400. This is a great chipset and it performs really well inside the Geekbench. You can see 2047 points in the single core test and 6289 in the multi-core test. So at that price range, this is a very good performing chipset for sure. Now I have to mention that the 128GB model is going to be UFS 3.1 because there is no UFS 4.0 based 128GB option. But the 256GB model of the S24 FE will be UFS 4.0 if you care about that. But another thing that hasn't changed is the RAM. It's still 8GB at the starting. The 12GB of RAM is also coming to the Fan Edition phone. Another thing that is not changing is actually the charging capabilities. It's going to be identical to the current model, 25-watt fast charging and the 15-watt Qi wireless charging. Same as that. Now in terms of dimensions, so if you look at, it's 162 by 77.3 by 8 mm. It's about 8 mm thick. Now if you compare that with S23 FE, then that is much more smaller. That is 158 mm tall, 76.5 mm wide and 8.2 mm thick. Why? So the display size has increased from 6.4 inches to 6.6 inches. Now in the display department, even though it does have 120Hz just like the last model, but it will probably gonna have much more higher nits of peak brightness. The last model had 1450 nits of peak brightness. The numbers currently not leaked, but I'm expecting something closer to 2000 nits or so. Aside from that, it does have IP68 rating for water and dust resistance. There is the optical fingerprint scanner and studio speaker setup. In terms of connectivity, there is the 5G Wi-Fi 6E, the Bluetooth 5.3 and NFC, plus USB Type-C 3.2 Gen port. But at the very least, it does have much thinner bezels compared to the S23 FE's ugly bezels. Like the S23 FE had the worst screen-to-body ratio compared to any Fan Edition phones from Samsung. So this time it's probably going to have similar to what the S21 FE had, or probably better than that. We will slowly get to know that. So overall, at this point, this phone looks like a great value, but not at the launch time, because at launch it will still be costing $599 or so. But as you guys know, with every single Fan Edition phones, they will go down in pricing to all the way to $299 or even less than that. So this one is going to be a definite upgrade from the S23 FE. In terms of the launch timing, even though we don't have a specific leak, but my guessing would be sometimes in August, late August to October, because this is the time when Samsung can introduce this phone, make it a proper rival to the Pixel 9, the standard model. The Pixel 9 series will actually be dropping on August 13th. So you get the point. Anyway, let me know about your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about it? And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.